In Austin, I'm Daranisha Heron. Time is running out for families to apply for the state's new Texas Education Freedom Account program. The application deadline is Tuesday, the 17th, and more than 174,000 students have already applied. Starting next school year, students in the program will get to use taxpayer dollars to help pay for private school tuition. Only 90 to 100,000 students are expected to get into the program this year. As Daniel Perot reports, Texas leaders are facing new lawsuits over the program.
As applications pour in for the state's new program to help pay private school tuition,
Education Freedoms accounts were set up for every single child across the great state.
One group of Texans says they're still left out. 4 Muslim parents and 3 private schools have filed federal lawsuits alleging Texas leaders are excluding them because of their religion. Some Muslim schools say they were approved but later removed with no explanation, while others say they've not been able to apply.
0 Muslim schools have been allowed to be on that list.
Muslim State Representative Salman Bojani was among a group of Democrats who sent a letter to Acting Comptroller Kelly Hancock last month, warning excluding schools with no proven ties to terrorism opened the state up to legal problems.
It's just unconstitutional, so we should not be doing this.
In January, the AG's office ruled the comptroller can exclude schools after Hancock raised concerns about schools affiliated with the Chinese government or that hosted events organized by the Council on American Islamic Relations, which Governor Abbott has declared a foreign terrorist organization. The U.S. State Department has not designated the organization as a terrorist group. In a social media post Thursday, Abbott said school choice funds should not go to radical Islamic indoctrination with historic connections to terrorism.
We need to eradicate them from our public institutions. No more teacher training. No more where we're doing these world cultures and things like that, where we're bringing in content from hostile foreign nations. We have got to clamp down on that.
Mandy Dragan with the Texas Public Policy Foundation says the exclusions are not about targeting a religion.
This is about a national security issue, and Americans must take this growing threat seriously.
A legal battle over constitutional rights after families and schools say the state froze them out.
Thank you, Daniel. A newly formed group is pushing back against plans for a major expansion of Mopac in South Austin. The $825 million plan calls for adding more express lanes between Cesar Chavez Street and Slaughter Lane. KVUE's Kelsey Sanchez has a closer look.
Jumping on the Mopac freeway and heading south is a nightmare for some Austinites.
It is ruining my life.
Well, traffic's been really bad. I've lived here all my life since like 2008, and it's only gotten worse.
Right now, there are express lane entrances and exits going south near Cesar Chavez and 5th Street. But if you drive farther, it's mostly stop and go. It's a problem the Central Texas Regional Mobility Authority has been hoping to fix for years. The project, called Mopac South, wants to add 2 new toll lanes in both directions of traffic between Cesar Chavez and Slaughter Lane.
We have to do something to fix the traffic. It's not fair for us Austinites to have to spend so much of our lives sitting around in cars just because the infrastructure hasn't kept up.
The Mobility Authority recently published a public environmental study outlining how the expansion won't have significant impacts. But some aren't buying what's being sold.
The agency's environmental document that's out for public comment right now completely ignores the damage that would happen in 5 to 7 years in construction, when there's massive erosion and runoff problems from the construction project itself.
On Thursday, Save Our Springs Alliance unveiled the Better Mopac Coalition, teaming up with other environmental and transportation groups to push back against the project. Save Our Springs Executive Director Bill Bunch argues there are other options.
Right now, they're only looking at do this or do nothing. So right up front, we could do a trial rush hour high occupancy vehicle, HOV lane, in the center lanes that would only operate during rush hour that would improve traffic flow.
KVUE reached out to the Mobility Authority about the formation of the coalition. A spokesperson wrote, quote, "The Central Texas Regional Mobility Authority respects the role that community organizations play in regional transportation discussions, and we welcome input from all interested stakeholders in the region."
There will be a public hearing to discuss the plan for Mopac on March 24th at Bowie High School. In the meantime, there is public comment open on the Mobility Authority's website. Anyone can submit a comment until May 3rd. The Downtown Austin Alliance took advantage of road closures for South by Southwest over the weekend. They're giving Austinites car-free streets to explore the area's parks and art installations. The Art and Parks Tour rolled out of Waterloo Park downtown Saturday morning. It's the 5th year for the free bike ride. It's always on South by's first Saturday. Hundreds of Austinites rolled along the 4-mile route. This tour features stops at Brush Square and the new Unity Underpass by Longhorn Dam.
Before, this is a very parks-heavy tour this year. There's so much art that's popping up in and around the art route. So I'm really excited to see things that even I don't know are there, because things pop up every single day. Yeah, especially
which is good. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
The tour also offered pedicabs for people not able to ride bikes. Now to Williamson County, where Hutto's famous Hippo Mascot is getting a name, and the community gets to decide what it is. KVUE's Jose Alonso shows us how the city's love for hippos began and the search for an official name.
It's a familiar figure to the public and can be seen across the city of Hutto.
Hippo pride, that's what we're all about. We represent ourselves through these little hippos all over. You see them in front of people's houses, in front of restaurants, gas stations.
That includes Chris Auditory's own family business, Happy Panini.
So the hippo is kind of a reminder, of who we are and where we came from, and what we're all about.
The hippopotamus has represented the city for more than a century. That's according to Abby Fenton with the city. She explains the folklore.
All the way back to the 1900s, when a circus train came to town and a hippo escaped from it.
But there's a jaw-dropping hypocrisy in this pride because the city mascot doesn't have an official name. But that'll soon change.
Our very creative communications team came up with doing a bracket-style competition like March Madness that the NBA does. And so we're calling it Mascot Madness. We're going to start with a bracket of 16, then go down to 8, then 4, then finals, and then we'll finally reveal our name.
The mascot can be seen on the city's social media page, Hippo ventilating on the dilemma.
I think this is a fun way for us to honor our history and celebrate who we are and have some pride that we live here in Hutto.
As far as what the official name will be, well, Auditory has an idea.
I think any name with a H would be pretty catchy. I don't know which ones would come with that. Maybe Henry, Harry, I don't know. I think anything double H, HH, I think that'd be a good option.
It's a battle of the hippos until an official title is given by this community. In Hutto, Jose Alonso, KVUE News.
That's all from us here in Austin. Have a great day.